Welcome back, YouTube. So in this video, we're going to be discussing some price action and kind of what to expect going forward, and also what's happening right now. So the first thing I wanted to point out is in the last few videos, we were talking about the golden cross here that we're getting. What is this? Right around the 1640 mark, 1630 mark, which is the projection that we gave. And I saw that some people were still saying that because of the golden cross, it's supposed to go up immediately, or there's not supposed to be like any red days after it. And I know I explained it in those videos, but sometimes people don't watch all the videos, so I'm going to do a brief recap in this video. Back in February, this is when we got the first golden cross of this year. We in fact had 3 red days after that golden cross, and pretty much sideways movement until we got the big push to the upside. And if we look back at it, even at Bitcoin and some of the other examples I drew, sometimes it takes maybe like a week or so of minimal movement or sideways movement before you see that there are a push in liquidity come in. And it's not necessarily always going to repeat it. Again, this is an historic run here. This like 9 days. Doge has never done this since I went all the way back to 2016. I couldn't find 9 consecutive green days without a red day in there somewhere. So this is what I meant when I was saying that. Unlikely we'll see a repeat of like 9 green days. Even during peak bull run in like 2021, we didn't get 9 green days in a row. So this was certainly a blessing and something that was unexpected. So I don't expect that type of price action, but this is typically, like I said, over the last few years, this has been a tick for the upside, and it's been a very good indicator. So what we're seeing now is a Moonlight looks like a double bottom here forming on the daily, right around the 15. What is this like? The first rejection we got was around like the 1540 mark, and also we have the fib line right here as well. And we've done this a few times, but more than likely what we're seeing here is because of, I know sometimes, because even I see it on X, sometimes people isolate Doge and don't necessarily look at some of the bigger pictures here, like with Bitcoin, and they'll just say, oh, okay, well, Doge is down, so therefore it's not acting appropriately, as if we didn't, or as if we're not running and holding 100% ahead of time. But again, I know people's emotional sentiment is different for every level. But the biggest thing that we're going to have to see here is this next level, which is around like 1530. And that's kind of where we can kind of get an idea if this is going to be a double bottom or not, and have either that ascension or that a sideways movement. And again, we did something very similar here. Let me go try. I'll try and zoom in for you. Back in February, right here, we had our golden cross, and then we immediately had 2 red low volume days. I'm talking about February 21st and February 22nd. And we had it was a green day, February 23rd, but again, very low volume days and minimal price movement. And this is after the golden cross. All right, we got our golden cross on a red day. So that was 3 red days, a low green day, and a green day after that, followed by another green day. And then we started getting that price movement to the upside. I explain this in every video, but for some reason, people tune that out and just say golden cross equals rocket ship. And so hopefully this kind of put some clarity on that before we look at some of the other stuff. And also with the news that I put out about the veto from like the White House and everything, it's not. Let me go to shorts here. Let's take a look. I don't believe shorts are going to do anything because they know better than to. Yeah, shorts are not jumping on this. And again, that's still another sign there. Shorts, their job is to make money, and shorts are not. They do not feel comfortable jumping in this to short it right now, and they're actually down 3.39% on the day. So those shorts have certainly gotten smart from charting news or short-term panic. So they're actually about to get a death cross between the 14 and the 200. But so those shorts are not in there. But as I was saying, with the news that's coming out of the White House here, I believe, when I meant by political games, I believe that is something that's going to be used for kind of like delayed until later in Q3, excuse me, Q4, Q1, which is typically the time we're expecting that blow off top historically in crypto. What we do now, especially before I go to Bitcoin and look at any of the inside data, what we do now is positioning for whatever that peak leg is going to be, that peak run, right? The higher we chart now, this is what I meant by the next leg will be able to tell the strength of the movement. And then we'll know if we need to either move up our projections or move down our projections for the market. The strength of this next leg is going to be very telling for the movement. So this is what I was saying. Like if we get this run and we're able to clock like 45 and kind of like descend around there for this leg here, that's a good move to the upside. And we're looking at an all-time high probably end of summer, right? And then going into peak bull run later this year, Q4, Q1, that's when we can have that dollar discussion, dollar plus discussion. So this run here is very important here for the timing and the strength of this movement. So now could we clock in at a lower and be 38 and then still get a peak run and set an all-time high? Sure, that can happen, but I'm just positioning it as far as for the strength of this movement and saying, hey, what is the likelihood that we're going to hit some of those higher numbers like that $1.40 target and stuff by peak bull run, which is Q4, Q1 of 2025. Because the thing we have to kind of count in this spectrum here, because even Doge consolidated before the rest of the market in 2021, is the fact that the majority of Doge investors are retail, right? They're not institutional investors. They typically don't have a lot of money in there, and they're very emotional, right? And emotional means that when you start seeing like red candles and stuff, you can see it on like certain pages, even my page, you'll see when it goes down half a penny, it's immediate panic. You don't see that type of reaction from like Bitcoin holders. It goes down half a penny, they're cheering. So you have to kind of consider at some of those higher numbers here, when you see this fluctuation like that, when we went from 45 cent to 12 cent in the bull run last year, if that happened now, it would be complete pandemonium. And I'd say a large percentage of these people would dump. So we have to keep in mind that some of us are more long-term than others, right? Some of us are long-term investors in the asset, and some of us are swing traders or, you could call it scalpers, and it's just kind of gathering long-term data, but it's not really a long-term situation. So we have to kind of consider that. Even if I see some of you guys going back and forth in the comments, you have to kind of consider people are in different places, and that's fine. But we have to kind of know that most of the people that are in this coin are retailers, and their investor sentiment is going to be a little different from most people that have been investing for a long term or have larger amounts of capital. So let's take a look here at Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin is starting to be red today as well. Yeah, Bitcoin's red, 67, 637. So this is what I meant by low volume days. It's something similar to what we're seeing after the Golden Cross last time. We had more of, and go back here. So what we're seeing now, because I want to give a couple different scenarios for golden crosses, because for whatever reason, a certain amount of people tune that out. They just say golden cross equals to the moon. So here's an example here. Golden cross, right? Back here in October 2023, Sunday, the 8th, right? October 23. We got a golden cross. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 red days in a row in Bitcoin, right? Then we got the green days, and then we started the climb that led us to a peak of around 49,000. This is going up from like 26, right? So this is another prime example. I know I've done this in some of the older videos, but I'm going to do it again. We had the golden cross. It's not just because it's a golden cross, it's not an immediate God candle to the heavens. It is very possible to have the golden cross, because you have to think about people are investing, and the golden cross is a signal to the upside. So they typically, if you are long an asset, if you're riding a few assets, you typically swap there. Like even longs come out and say, hey, this is getting ready to take off. I've been long since 20,000. let me take profits right now, put the house money, sell everything, put the house money back in, and then ride the next leg up. Right. There's a lot happens at these signals. It's not a matter of just people holding and saying, okay, yeah, to the moon. Like the capital that comes into that, you have to be considerate, saying that, hey, there's a lot of different things that pours into the capitals of these different signals here. So you just can take a look and take into account that the fact that it's not always an immediate candles, because sometimes you have a bunch of green days, and then you have the consolidation, and then you have sometimes where it crosses immediately, like here, and then it starts green days, right? Everyone's different, but it's not always. And none of them are. I haven't seen a God candle to an immediate God candle, even in Bitcoin, right? And if you're not getting the God candle out of Golden Cross in Bitcoin, then the rest of the market surely is not going to get one. So want to clear that up as well. Let's take a look here at shorts, just so we can. Yep, shorts and Bitcoin not doing anything. So they know what's up. They're not being stupid this time. Let's take a look here, since I made my long swapping statement. Let's find out if I'm crazy. All right. OI changed down 2.60%. I'm willing to bet it's longs. Let's see. All right, the 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. So we're down roughly 3%. I know we were looking at 77%. Looks like they're starting to come back in on the 30 minutes and the 5 minutes. So this is recent price action here from the 22. So let's see this. Let's verify this on liquidations. Yep. And this is exactly what I meant by the Bitcoin chart. And looking at Doge, that red candle down. Hold on, let me go back. This is what I meant. Long swapping. So this is, you see virtually no shorts, right? So this is verifying what we just saw on the charts. There's virtually no shorts coming into the asset. They're not taking any chances, but you see longs outperforming shorts by, I don't even know what percentage that is, but it's a crazy number, having 29K to 2.1 million. And again, this is just like the top 4 exchanges here. It's not completely everything. But it just gives you an idea of the what's going on in the market. And this is what you mean. This is longs taking profits, right? These are the option contracts. They are taking profits. But you just saw on, let me see, it's the long short ratio, they're coming back in. So this is literally what I meant by swapping. They're taking profits off of the gains that they've had before, saying, hey, we believe that this is the conclusion here of that run that we had. We're going to take profits here. We believe there's another leg coming up, and they take profits, and then they come back in. And that's typically what happens. And I think that what most, and at least Doge investors, are going to learn this cycle is people, after each leg, after runs, people typically take profits. It's not, unless you're like just truly long-term. I know some people say that they're long-term, but they're really not, because they have the emotion of like a day trader. But when you're truly long-term, then yeah, you can ride the dips and stuff like that. And you're just looking for long-term data. You don't care about a price dip on a day or a week or something like that, because you're long-term. But when you are short-term, or you're just simply scalping, something similar to what these traders are doing with these options, they are looking to get in and get out at every leg. So even at, let's say Doge doesn't go to $1 and it just maxes out at like 90 cents, right? They've taken profit along the way. They didn't hold from 15 cents to 90 cents and say, okay, well, now I need to hurry up and sell because I'm witnessing the candle go down. So now they don't know what type of profit they're going to get. They lock that profit in as they go along. So this is what we're seeing here in the charts. And I'm glad I was able to kind of catch this as it was happening, because later these numbers will have settled and you won't be able to see that transition between like yesterday and today. And even OpenAI, because depending on when you look at this, they could have already taken their new positions and these numbers could have already fluctuated. So that's a good thing that I was able to actually catch on camera. So ultimately, that's what we're looking at. The charts we have not seen evidence of a reversal. The charts haven't said anything. There isn't any positioning for a reversal. Even looking at some of the deeper data, there is a plethora of evidence that we are going up. Even if you look at someone like the weeklies. Matter of fact, let's go back to look at a quick weekly chart. That's shorts. Let's go. It looks like we're honestly forming a double bottom there. Let's take a look at the Binance. Let's go weekly. So even here for the weekly, and remind you guys today's Sunday, so we'll see where we end up. But this would be the current trend right here. And this aligns with what we're seeing for that double bottom on the daily. So because we only have around a day of price action on this candle. And so what we're looking at is a two charts kind of confirming each other, right? So the double bottom will put us down like a little bit more. We bounce from somewhere, and then we should see some, and this would be this candle that would close for this week. So this isn't a red day. This would, we need, 6 more days on this candle to see kind of where we end up. But this would be the current trend, which is also a positive trend, right? Even though we had the fluctuation. So for those of you who can't read candles, let me delete this. Okay, so for those of you who can't read candles, that means that this candle was once red when it was down here, but it's a wick because we ended up closing higher, right? And this was a green candle because we had decent price movement. Now, as long as this candle is below the 1659 mark, it'll be red. But this here, this wick here that's red was once green because we were above it. So just kind of getting price action here. This isn't just that the daily chart. These are charts confirming each other, saying that the current trend is now up. Now, obviously, we'll chart this over the week. And if something changes or we break below it, then of course we can discuss that. But as of right now, we have charts confirming daily, golden cross, weekly. Everything's still staying up. Even the action from the traders of the asset, from shorts not coming in Bitcoin or Doge, and their job is to make money off of the assets coming down. They're not coming in. And then we're also seeing the swapping going on with the option contracts. Everything is still saying there's a positioning, the behind the scenes data, everything is pointing to still up. So we will chart this as it happens this week, and we will get ready to see the strength of this next leg soon. So let me know if you have any comments in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this? If you have not considered subscribing yet, please do. We have a little time to beat Bitcoin to 100,000, so I greatly appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Once again, I appreciate all of you. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.